Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This is a young guy, he's 26 years old, and he's writing in asking me my advice on how he can essentially avoid the temptations to get off his grind. In other words, he's 26, like I said, he just started his career as a teacher, congratulations. But meanwhile, on the side, aside from teaching, he's also working on a graphic novel. He really wants to be successful in that. He's working on a YouTube channel, trying to be successful in that. So he's really trying to make something himself, doing what I think all young guys should do, establishing themselves and going after their goals and dreams. Problem is that just like any guy out there, he's attracted to women. He obviously has urges and all that. And he's wondering, how can I keep them at bay for now while I'm working on my grind, because I don't want anything to derail me from my goals and ambitions. So that'll be a very good one to go over here, because I know a lot of guys are watching this, and for varying reasons, you're sticking to your grind and purpose, either because you're done with dating women, or simply because you really want to make something of yourself. And understandably, there are distractions in life. So it'll be a very good one here to cover that, because at the end of the day, guys, we are all masters of our own destiny, okay? Of course, things are going to come and derail our plans and things like that in life, but it's how you deal with them. That's what makes you successful and make things happen for yourself. And of course, we can also be our own worst enemies in terms of derailing our own plans by being a bunch of boneheads and all. So that'd be a good one to cover here. A little longer than the usual Ask SSM in terms of his email to me, but it's worth it, and I'll cover all his questions in the end. He says here, hello SSM. I hope you're doing well. I'm sure you get this a lot, but I am a big fan of the channel. I've been subscribed to you for a little over 2 years at this point. Out of all the channels that I've seen that cover this type of content, I have no problem in saying that you are the best one, as you're both informative and entertaining. The advice you give is solid, particularly the one where you say a man needs to follow his purpose, or as I coined it, climbing the mountaintop. As since the path of success is a long journey full of hardships that only a handful of people can ever truly reach. That is very true. A lot of people see the mountain and want to climb the mountain, but they're not willing to take the time and make sacrifices to climb the mountain and endure all the hardships climbing the mountain of success. And then they want to hate on you for climbing the top of the mountain. So I get it. And thank you, bro, for your support and that you like the channel. I really appreciate it. About myself. I'm 26 years old, who's on his path to try and climb his respected mountaintop. I feel like I've made really good progress on that front so far. For example, I'm writing a graphic novel that I would like to get published one day. I've been also working on my own YouTube channel, and earlier this year I just became a teacher. Congratulations, bro, you're on your path. 26. Become the best teacher you can be. I hope you enjoy it. Hope it's rewarding. And as for the graphic novel and the YouTube, keep at it. Talk to people that are successful, learn everything you can. Don't give up. If one avenue doesn't work, try another, okay? And with YouTube, it ain't easy. But you got to find something you're passionate about, but make sure that you don't have an oversaturated market. Learn from those that have success, and there's a lot of people that give advice about YouTube, but at the end of the day, YouTube is being unique, being memorable, and consistency. And just keep cranking them out. And sooner or later, you'll do something that YouTube will recommend, more people will notice, you get subscribers, on, and you'll learn from that and go on. And you'll get better in front of the camera and all that. Good luck to you on that. A little tips on YouTube. And, of course, right place, right time. I was right place, right time. Fucking lucky when I started this when COVID happened, because everybody was at home, nothing to do, so they're watching YouTube, and I popped up, and then the rest is history. But I thank you all for your support. Anyway, though I do want to work out more often, now with all that, I do have an issue that I have been dealing with for quite some time. To be honest, I was on the fence about whether or not I should send you this email. Mainly since it's not like the other videos you make where you talk about the crazy drama-filled stories of psychotic girlfriends and unfaithful wives. Bro, this story is not a crazy story, but it has good points, because a lot of guys in this channel want to make something of themselves and improve their lives, and we can get in our own way. So this is it's worth it. I appreciate you saying it. It's worth the time. For me, my issue boils down to how I resist temptation. I feel like it's easy to say that I'm not going to date or that I'm avoiding relationships, though that is a bit harder for me. There are a few reasons as to why this is the case. The big one being that I have never had a large amount of dating experience in either high school or college, and I feel like I kind of missed out on that. Dude, I'm telling you right now, you really didn't miss out a whole lot. Experience is important, don't get me wrong, especially if you want to have relationships down the road, and I'll cover that later, but in terms of hooking up left and right in high school and college, you get to you're being middle-aged and you look back, it's not that big a deal. I'd rather be successful and have wealth and happy with that than in my middle age and have money than been the Chatter Tyrone in high school and college and pipe down 200 girls and I'm freaking working some crappy job with no money. You get the point. It says here, not to say I didn't have prospects. I did. They just didn't last that long. And I don't even know if I would even consider either of them my girlfriends, depending on what you qualify as a gal. Now, I know I'm on my grind. I want to be a strong, successful male, pun intended, though every so often there comes a pretty gal that ends up catching my eye, and I cannot get her out of my freaking head. Dude, that's normal. You're human. You're heterosexually attracted to women. You can notice girls, women. You can, oh, she's hot. But you stay focused on your grind. Then over time, I start to end up developing feelings for her, which leads to me losing my way a little bit. Then I try hitting her up, and that always ends in failure, leading to me to proclaiming that I will not pursue women or relationships. That is until another pretty girl catches my eye again. To quote Voss from Far Cry 3, insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting things to change. That is insanity. And right now, I feel like an utter lunatic. Which leads to me right now. I'm currently dealing with this situation again, as I have unwittingly started the process at my new job with one of the other teachers. Smack! Did I even start to have feelings or attraction for a coworker, another teacher? Working in the school, that's your career for now as a teacher. You do not need to be developing a potential relationship or anything like that of the sort with a coworker, okay? Now, you can see a coworker, a teacher, since you're a teacher, and think that she's hot, or you're attracted to her, like her personality. That's fine. But if that's gonna lead you to start behaving differently, or hitting on her, maybe asking her out, bad idea, because she's your coworker. That's you make your career. And nowadays, that can get blown up in your face real quick. No, shut that shit off real quick. Now, this is bad for me for a fair share of reasons. First being that work is for work and not hooking up. Good, you know. Stick to that. Which I'm sure you're going to mention. You know me. Believe me, I've learned that lesson really early on. Second, I can't really avoid her since we work in a small private school. Also, it doesn't help that our rooms are right next to each other. Third, the students already make enough memes about me as is. The students are making memes about you. None of which are malicious, but I prefer not to have my love life, or more accurately, non-existent love life, to be the center of attention. Then don't give them any fuel to their fire. Your teaching position is business. It's where you make your income. You make your income. You're building your career. You may not be a teacher forever. You may have success on YouTube. You never know, or your graphic novel or something else. But for right now, until you pay the fucking bills, don't go there. I just want to know there's something I can do to help me resist temptation, to not give in to my feelings, because I do not actively choose to have dreams, not those types of dreams, involving my crush, which leads me to more intense feelings. What do I gain from that? I want to stand tall and climb a mountaintop, but the thing is that is getting me off track is not the women per se, but myself. Yes, we are our own worst enemy, okay? How many of you guys have done things where in your mind you're like, this is stupid, you do it anyway because your emotions or your package is driving you down that path. You've all been there, and it inevitably goes wrong. We are all our own worst enemy. One side of me understands that relationships in the dating scene are just plain horrific. Things like the cheating, the ever-rising divorce rate, these heartbreaking stories of men discovering that they are not the father of their kids. I've never experienced any of that, and I hope I never do. I hope you never do. Which is why I accepted the fact that I may never end up getting married, nor have children, and invest more time to my craft. Dude, it's not the end of the world if you don't ever get married or have kids. But if the time comes down the road when you've achieved what you wanted to achieve and you're focusing on this in your 20s, that you want to date, do relationships, that's your business. And I'll come back to that at the end. But be careful. Then there's a small part of me that thinks that it isn't all gloom and doom. That there is a shred of hope that things can be better. I'm not an optimistic person, though I do believe that there is good out there. Well, if you want to have success and make things happen for yourself, you're going to have to become an optimistic person, at least with regards to yourself, believing in yourself and what's possible. You have to be optimistic about the dating scene and the relationship world because it is a fucking mess, but towards yourself and what you want to make yourself, you need to have never-ending optimism and glass is half full mentality. I do believe there's good out there, that there are good women out there, and that maybe I can get lucky and find one and of the few good ones that are left. Though maybe I'm just being naive. It is possible because, let's not forget, I don't have a large amount of experience when it comes to relationships. I've also never undergone any major hardships like cheating or abuse. The worst I ever got was being ghosted. Granted, it happened more times than I care to admit, but it doesn't compare to some of the horror stories you've heard. There isn't a guy watching this that hasn't been ghosted. Everybody's been fucking ghosted. It's not the end of the world. Now, I know that isn't the most interesting of stories that you cover on the channel, and I'd be surprised if this ends up becoming a video. Surprise. But if you have any advice that can help, I would truly appreciate it. Thank you for your time and for all the good work that you do. You're welcome. So, I'm going to be jumping all over the place because that's how my mind works. First of all, again, it's awesome when you're on your grind, you're on your purpose, you want to make something yourself good for you. And you can do it. If you believe in yourself and you're resourceful and you're relentless towards your goals, you can be successful in time, one way or another, whatever you want, okay? I'm not saying if you want to suddenly become a freaking heart surgeon, you can just read some books and do it. No, but in terms of like your passion towards the graphic novel or the YouTube channel or anything else that may come across your path, you work hard enough and you learn everything you can and you consult the wisdom and advice from people that have been there, whatever, you can find a way to be successful and do well for yourself, etc., etc. You have to have optimism for that. Now, with regards to relationships, sadly, and I'm well aware of this, as you guys are, it's a mess out there. And there are a lot of ugliness. And there are a lot of screwed up gals out there. And we all know darn well where the many contributing factors that led to the reality that we are now that is called the shit scene that is dating and relationships and marriage and how unfair the family courts are towards men and how men have become almost like second-class citizens in the eyes of the law, and it goes on and on. That being said, I do not believe that every single gal walking the earth is the root of all evil. I got guys on here that do believe that. That's your business, but I disagree. I think a lot are sadly like in these stories I cover, and others in varying degrees, but there are gals out there that still have traditional values, are conservative, that are good people. It's just sadly becoming more and more rare. And so when the day comes, let's just say you've achieved some of your goals and you're ready to maybe relationships, understand that. But I don't want you focusing on that now. What I want you focusing on at 26 is your goals. Therefore, when you say resisting temptation, this chick that's your coworker is a teacher, that's trouble. That's a coworker. Don't even go there, okay? But if you want to find ways, and for any guy out there that has goals, but they're their own worst enemy, and temptation's getting them to go off course from their goals, the way you fight that is just think about what's the most important thing to you, your goals, having success and whatever that may be, and that needs to be on your mind all the time. That needs to be on your mind when you go to sleep. That needs to be on your mind when you wake up in the morning. That needs to be on your mind while you're having your breakfast and having your coffee. You're that you have to become a fucking obsession. And when it does, you're going to be so on that dating, getting laid, relationships, it's not going to matter to you. And you're not going to be derailed by all these other things by some pretty girl that you notice that works in your building. But when you let your mind go off your goals, that's when you start making mistakes. If you have ever seen the movie Creed, it came out 7 or 8 years ago, there's a scene when Adonis meets up with Rocky and Rocky agrees to train him. And there's a scene they're both looking in the mirror. And Rocky says something to the effect of, he says, you see that guy looking at you in the mirror? That's basically the toughest opponent you're ever going to have. And obviously, it's a movie, and Stallone probably didn't write that line, but the point is, the guy you look at and see in the mirror every day is your toughest opponent. That guy is going to be the toughest person you have to fight to win because you can get in your own way. So I want you to focus on your goals and ambitions, and that is the key. Focus on that, and you're not going to be derailed, okay? And the second you start finding yourself being derailed by oh, I need to dedicate so much time to my graphic novel or YouTube or whatever it is that my goals are. And maybe I want to start dating now or sitting around and dreaming about this girl that in my building. No. Take it out of your head. Focus on your goals. You can do this, and you can achieve what you want to achieve, but you have to be disciplined. And it's ambition, it's hard work, and it's persistence, but it's discipline. And there are a lot of temptations out there. And understand this. It sounds like to me that you would like to have relationships one day, but you're definitely troubled by the world we're in right now, and nobody can blame you. You can have that one day, but focus on your goals and ambitions. Make things happen for yourself. And let me tell you, you start making something of yourself, they'll chase after you. But and here's the other thing. I've advised young guys, particularly in their 20s, teens and 20s, date, hook up, all that shit later. Focus, establishing yourself while you're young. The younger you are, the better it is it can be. Because what you do when you're young will really set the course how things go the rest of your life. Ages 15 through 25 really will determine the way your life's going to go on multiple fronts, okay? And you guys can figure out what I'm talking about there. When you choose as a career, when you choose to study, when you get your license, boneheaded things you might do. I mean, it really is the truth. And not to mention putting away money early on and investing it over decades and watching that grow. The earlier, the better. You can have girls later on in life, okay? It's not hard. And a man's probably really begins, honestly, in his 30s when he's really become established and all that. The problem is they settle with the first girl who pays attention to them in their late 20s, and she's usually settling with them because she wants to settle, and you get the point. So, bro, keep doing what you're doing. Don't get involved with your freaking coworkers, anybody else like that, and stay on your grind. Now, the day comes down the road that you've achieved some of the things you want to achieve, and maybe you sincerely want relationships. Fair enough, not judging. Well, you do need some practice because you can't just go into it without any kind of practice. No boxer's going to jump into the ring with another fighter without having some, doing some sparring ahead of time and training for years. Okay, and eventually you're going to have to start dating, and or getting some experience in that arena, in that ring. And there's going to be mistakes you're going to make, and you're going to get ghosted, and you're going to have all this other bullshit. But you will learn over time. But that's for another day. But for right now. For all you guys out there that want to make something yourself, but you can find yourself being easily distracted by wanting to spend your time chasing ass, spending your money wooing girls and all that, you focus on you. Focus on your grandest goals. Keep your eye on the prize, and you will get there. And you can do all other bullshit later on in life. Trust me on this, okay? So I hope that helps. I really do. And at the end of the day, like I said, we're all our own worst enemy. And if you just, like in Creed, when Rocky said, that guy you look in front of it, you're looking at in the mirror is the toughest opponent you're ever going to have. Remember that, okay? And you're going to be all right. So I wish you all the best, brother. Again, you can do it. Just focus on that. In fact, I'm going to look up that scene, see if I can find it on YouTube. And if I can, I'll connect a little link to that scene right on the video here, and you guys can watch that part. All right, guys, that was it for today. We should have commented down below. Let me just think about this. Give this guy some advice. Tell him to stay away from that girl, that coworker. Give him some tips to focus on his goals, to avoid the temptation and making the mistakes that many have done. I've made plenty of mistakes. I've gotten derailed in my past, and I learned the hard way. Focus on what's so important to you, and all the other bullshit's not going to matter. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.